Good afternoon to our Rotarians and guests. To start things off today, we have the four-way test, prayer, and pledge led by Kelly Bass, then guest introductions with Maha Witherington, and a few new member introductions with membership chair Ross Burnett. A quick reminder, everyone, please silence your cell phones during the meeting. With that, we'll invite Kelly to the front.
All right, fellow Rotarians, you know the drill on the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial for all concerned? All right, pray with me, please. Fellow Rotarians, as we gather today in fellowship and the spirit of service above self, let us hold in our hearts the hope for a more peaceful world. May all of us and all of the world's leaders be guided by wisdom and moved by compassion. May all of us stand united in our shared commitment to understanding and goodwill. Let us all commit that our actions today and every day be small steps toward harmony, dignity, and peace for all. Amen. You'll join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon. Thank you. I'm honored today to welcome our guests and also welcome returning Rotarians. So I'm going to start with our returning Rotarians, and I'm going to announce the guest name: Leanne Parham and Hannah Jones. Lynette is with Jesse Wilson, and Hannah Jones is with Jesse Williams. Can you kindly stand up? Thank you, and remain standing until we please finish. I'm also honored to welcome guests, and I would like to welcome Mr. Jeff Conley. I would like to welcome Mr. Lloyd Weber and Tansel Kasabak. I hope I pronounce it right, and they are all guests of Mr. Christian O'Neill. In addition, I would like to welcome Walter Malone, guest of Emily Cox, and Trent Murchison, guest of Ross Burnett. Can we kindly give them a big round of applause? Thank you. Have a nice program.
Another great day with two new members. Pleased to announce Austin Bates up to right here by President Chaco, who is proudly sponsored by Kelly Fleming. Everyone, please help me welcome Austin Bates to Club 99. Couldn't be a perfect timing. We were going to do this a couple weeks ago, then we had about 180 people in here, it seemed, and that didn't work out, but he specializes in cybersecurity over at his family business, Pinnacle IT. So couldn't make it any better. He says he's got three things that he's passionate about: his faith, his family, and the Hogs. May they win in the Supers. He's got a big idiot of a dog, Draco, and really just loves to be involved in the community. He's done things with the chamber, with after hours, all types of networking events, and really will be a contributing member to our club and help make it a great place to be. He was also a graduate of Pulaski Academy, so we'll have to connect on that later, and is married to, is it Kayla Stewart? Is that Kayla? Kayla Bates, excuse me. He loves everything sports related, attending his kids' games, playing sports, Razorback games, car guy, and everything else. Please help me welcome again Austin Bates. Next, we've got a returning Rotarian, Judge Wayne Gruber. Everyone, please help me welcome back Judge Wayne Gruber. So, I'm pretty impressed and really thankful that you've decided to come back. UA Little Rock, who had a once-in-a-lifetime performance last night and night before against LSU, honored both him and his wife Rita as Distinguished Alumni of the Year from the Bowen School of Law. Judge Wayne Gruber served Pulaski County as district judge since March of 2001. Before his election, he worked in private practice as a partner in the Gruber Law Firm for 20 years. He retired from the Arkansas National Guard, 189th Airlift Wing, where he served as a judge advocate for 16 years, and his last 10 years as a staff judge advocate. Before serving in the Guard, he served 4 years on active duty at the Little Rock Air Force Base. He previously served as president of the Pulaski County Bar Association, and the organization recognized him as District Judge of the Year in 2001, 2009, and 2014. In 2015, he served as president of the Arkansas District Judges Council and received the Pulaski County Bar Association's Lawyer Citizen Award in 2018. One of Gruber's proudest accomplishments is the implementation of the Pulaski County District Court DWI Sobriety Court Program, a national model sponsored by the National Highway Safety and Transportation Administration, one of only 12 statewide programs that's designed to reduce the number of DUI offenses by providing alternative sentencing, including counseling and treatment. Please help me welcome Judge Wayne Gruber.
All right, welcome Austin and welcome back Judge Gruber. We are very happy to have you both with us. Thank you to Ross and Kelly and Maha, and thank you to our greeters up front, Rick Fleetwood, Sergeant at Arms Rachel O'Neill, Alex Talley, and Gordon Wilburn. Thank you all for the smiling faces up front. I just realized I didn't come by and get my badge, so I apologize for not saying hi myself. I got to see the smiles from all the way over. They're fine there, right? I want to say a quick thank you. Last week was a very busy week for Rotary. We're rolling from our monthly board meeting on Tuesday to our two-day conference on our club's 5-year strategic plan. We had over 30 people give up their time and use the results from the survey that we sent out last month to go through and identify our strategic focus for the next 5 years of our club. Thank you all to both the survey respondents and to all the people that gave their time and shared their opinions at the meeting. I cannot wait to present the results to the club once we've come through all those conversations. Now, to continue with our Rotary Year theme of global hearts, local hands, I've decided to use my President's Minute to highlight Rotary clubs around the globe. There are more than 46,000 clubs worldwide, and we'll take a minute to learn about one other club a week from their history, membership, or the special projects that they support. We are continuing our look at the 14 clubs larger than us in the United States, with today's focus coming to the Rotary Club of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It is the 4th largest club in the nation with 474 active members and was the 7th largest club in the world as recently as 2004 with a membership count of 514. Their 107-year history has allowed them to distill the service into 5 foundational avenues of service. That includes club operations, vocational services, community service, international service, and new generation or youth services. They have 35 active and engaged committees, allowing them not only to share leadership responsibilities and recognition, but also to engage club members by meeting them at their interests. I was fortunate to attend the large club conference in Baton Rouge in preparation for my presidential year. The large club conference is not an official Rotary International event, but it's an opportunity for the clubs with over 200 members from all over the country to come together to share ideas and recognize the unique challenges that face clubs that are our size. Karen warned me back in the October meeting would be the primer for my year. I have to admit, the conference was when my Engagement changed. I went from nervous energy and a little bit of imposter syndrome to be standing in front of you to being very excited about the future and the potential that we had in the next year. Their current president, Greg Wood, and I have been on an email thread all year with a few other presidents, continuing to share our wins and have a place to bounce ideas off each other. I'm glad to have friends that are going through the same challenges as our club together. That meeting actually influenced one of our other President's Minutes, highlighting the Rotary Peace Scholarships, as one of the speakers at that large club conference was Dr. Zambakari, head of the Zambakari Advisory School and Consulting Agency. So, with that, I will say thanks to the great hosts at the Rotary Club of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, one of the few clubs that is both north and south of us. They are south of us geographically, but north of us at number 4 at the largest clubs in the nation. With that, we will roll right into our program. So please help me welcome Dr. Ann Vane, the Executive Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs for UA Little Rock, to introduce our speaker. Ann?
Thank you. Can I just say go Trojans before we get started? And Austin, thank you for introducing the topic of cybersecurity. It is my pleasure today to introduce you to Dr. Philip Huff, who's the new director of the UA Little Rock Center Cyberspace Operations Research and Education Center, identified as our core center. Under Philip's wonderful leadership, and I do have to say, not only is he a fabulous researcher and academician, but he's also just a wonderful colleague to work with, and he's just brilliant in his field. Under his leadership, the Core Center is enhancing our capabilities to protect critical infrastructure and develop a skilled cybersecurity workforce, which is a great need we have not only in our city and our state, but also in our nation. With the support from the Attorney General of the state of Arkansas, who provided us with $1 million, we will be able to expand capabilities in our Core Center and expand opportunities for our students, increasing our partnerships with our community out there. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Huff, and he will share more about the Core Center and the initiatives we have at UA Little Rock in the areas of cybersecurity and AI. Philip.
Thank you all for having me. This is a great experience to come before the city leaders and business leaders here and talk about what we're doing in cybersecurity. I think we have a common mission, common goal, common vision for the future, and looking at our young people and providing them with opportunities, and that's really what this is about. First of all, I'm very overwhelmed and grateful for what the state Attorney General's office, the Arkansas Department of Higher Ed, what they've provided us in bootstrapping a lot of our programs that allow us to create these programs that really there's no other precedent in the state or the nation. And also for Senator Bozeman's office and connecting us with a lot of the Department of Energy grant opportunities. I mean, we are unique. I work a lot in Silicon Valley talking with folks about AI startups, and we are unique in the fact that we understand critical infrastructure. We have a great amount of the power grid that's operated out of Arkansas, a lot of oil and natural gas resources, and that's something that is unique to our state that we're able to take advantage of. But yeah, very grateful for all the support that we've had to get this up and running. The Core Center is it starts with education, and as a research center, that's a little unique. We're not, I would be comfortable sitting working on math equations and developing AI models, and be just fine with that. But the real need in cybersecurity for a long time has been our human workforce, and that's really what our kids need. And so we're kind of forced into that workforce development pathway, and that's where we've really thrived. That's where our hires have been focused, and really everybody we bring into our center, it's about how do we help our young people. Because we can do some really cool stuff in research, and that's a lot of fun. But more importantly, how does that translate to opportunities for our young people. And if the answer is it doesn't, then it's probably not something we really need to be doing. Unfortunately, with cybersecurity and AI, we can do fun things, and we can also bring in a lot of opportunities for our young people. So our education program, the reason this is research is because we don't have we're not well-established discipline. We're doing the same thing with AI right now at the university. The same thing we did with cybersecurity. How do we create these innovative new educational programs when we don't have a textbook that's been out there for 50 years that you can just pull and the slides are already there? We have to build this from the ground up, and that's why this comes into research, to make sure that what we're building is what the students need and what the workforce needs. I'm proud to say that we had our first graduates a few weeks ago, and we are already the 13th, the number 13 in the nation of cybersecurity schools, and the first in Arkansas, I will also add. We're the top school in Arkansas for cybersecurity. Not very happy with that ranking of 13. I think we're much better, so we're working on our education, making sure everybody's aware of what we're doing here. But one of the things I love about working at UA Little Rock is the students that are graduating. They have very unique stories. I mean, a few people that I've showcased up here, I get to teach. In one of the pictures, the graduates there, I have a world-class sprinter. I have a special forces operative coming back to school, and I have a UA Pine Bluff Detention Center supervisor, and others that have left their careers not satisfied, and they've come back to school. And that's not, I talk with colleagues around the nation, and that's not a common experience. We get a unique set of students, and they come to us with dreams. They're not coming for just an education. They have a dream, and so that dream really drives them, and that makes me excited. That makes it just incredible to work with these people and to see the transformation, to go from jobs that they weren't happy with, living several years in a career they're not happy with, and to come here and turn that around and do something that they really love and get paid well for doing that. And that's what we're about. That's making those opportunities. We also have some of my favorite students there. Slyn McMahon is on the bottom there. She comes to us from Christiansburg, Virginia, and that's a program I'll talk about. She's a high school teacher, and she was teaching special ed, found herself in career and technical education, and she went through our graduate program where we teach them how to teach cybersecurity so they can go back and teach concurrent credit in their schools. And we have about 50 of these stories across the nation. I mean, we reach over 30 states and just about all of the public school districts in Arkansas. And she was able to make it through the graduate program. Very tough, mind you, dealing with a lot of life circumstances, but to see her dream fulfilled, and then the multiplicative effect that her going back into the classroom and teaching her students, getting them on the pathway to cybersecurity, that's what's real inspiring. And that's, as I'm not just a researcher, I'm a teacher, and that's what keeps me going in the fall. That's what keeps me coming back in the fall, is those graduation stories. I'm sorry, there we go. But we approach our degrees differently. We look to build a stackable degree program. So we front load a lot of our degrees where students come in and we build competencies that are going to help them succeed in the workforce, and develop that pathway directly to the workforce. And the reason for that is it gets them into working faster, and it also provides them opportunities. There's a great debate about higher ed. We don't move fast enough. We're not providing them with skills, and that's something that I'm not seeing around UA Little Rock. We're working on their competencies that are going to help them succeed, and by doing that, by putting all those competencies early in the program, it allows us to work with institutions across the state and create a network where students can, after a few years or even after a year, they can maybe decide to go on and continue their degree. Otherwise, we'll give them a certificate, a badge, a competency that they can take with them and be successful in the workplace. That's what we're doing with AI right now. That's what we found with cybersecurity. There's so many different facets and different ways for them to go and different needs of businesses across the region. And this allows them to find their place and find what they're interested in and what the market needs. And we also, when they're going through their degree program, we have a lot of electives, but we provide, again, different competencies where if they're going to work in digital forensics, we have a pathway for them to go through and look for state opportunities in forensics, maybe with the AG's office. If they're going through and working in the electric sector and critical infrastructure, we have an engineering pathway. And so they can have a series of courses where they don't just get a degree. I had one of our graduates they actually broke the record system because they had so many certificates that we couldn't process that. So we did a buffer overflow on our record system. But he graduated with 7 different certificates, and so we want to recognize that as they're going through, and that's a different way to do degrees. But when you have these emerging fields and these emerging workforces, that's really we have to be very nimble, and that allows us to do that. Another way we partner is we work out. We work out with institutions across Arkansas. You know, I see Summer. Where are you at, Summer? One of our best partners here, UA Pulaski Tech. They partner with us, and what's really great is we share curriculum. It's not like you can't use those slides; those are my slides, or you can't use this lab; that's mine. We work together across 12 different institutions. That includes Fayetteville, UA Pine Bluff, and we even Ouachita Baptist has joined us, and you know, we're very open to looking for opportunities across Arkansas. I mean, because really the workforce demands, if you go to LinkedIn and see the number of cybersecurity careers that are available, and then the number of graduates we're putting out collectively, we're still nowhere close. And so I don't see this as a competitive area for us. This is a collaboration area. It's competitive among the states, but if we collaborate better than anyone else, I think we're providing opportunities, and we're very happy to do that because it makes us better. If I have a partner partner institution that doesn't have a faculty member, that's a set of students that are not getting an education. They're not able to move forward. And so if we can work together to fill that, we can bring faculty across the state and make better programs. It's very hard to find cybersecurity AI faculty when they're being paid so much on the market. And so if we can find them, bring them here to the state, it allows us to invest in our students for across the board. It's very scalable. So we're working out. The other thing we're doing is we're working down. Talked about the National Cyber Teaching Academy. That is a graduate certificate where we have, I'm going to get the numbers wrong here, but 60-ish. How about that? 60-ish teachers across Arkansas who have gone through or are going through our program, and that gives them 18 hours of graduate credit and for them to go back and teach in the high schools. The reason that's so important is if you have a high school student, how many of y'all have high school students now? And they're probably looking, they only take AP classes or classes they're getting college credit in, right? And if cybersecurity and AI is not a part of that, then those students are not seeing that pathway for themselves. And really, if we can take a high school teacher and allow them to teach a college course, you just can't beat that. Think about the people that really inspire you. Teaching isn't just about transferring knowledge. It's about inspiration. And there's nobody better than high school teachers. Nobody remembers me as a college professor nearly as much as their high school teacher that helped them along the path. And if we can upskill them and give them the credentials to do that, that's an incredible multiplicative power. We are seeing a great number, very eclectic, diverse student body coming in because we're able to reach further down into the high schools and let people see that career path ahead of them. So reaching out, reaching down. The other thing we're starting to do is reach up. Now, these are not programs on a billboard yet. We're not making an announcement about that, but that's something we're developing is 2 new graduate programs because the workforce, just the rapid changes in the workforce, they're not just wanting graduates, they're wanting knowledge on what's going on, particularly around AI and how do we make ourselves competitive, but also legal, safe, and there's a lot of hype in AI, and there's a lot of wasted money that goes into AI, but there's also a strategic advantage and understanding how do I grasp that and grasp the right thing is becoming a skill that's very desired. I have a lot of chief security officers around the area asking me, do you have these graduates yet? So we are working to develop graduate programs in secure AI. How do you provide AI governance, AI safety, be able to use agents in processes that are critical in a way that that still respects, human ethics and allows us to use these tools, but to do so in a way that's responsible and is going to be competitive for your business. So we're developing that this summer, looking at fall of 2026. Again, that's in development. This other side is cybersecurity operations. That's a lot of offensive critical infrastructure, national security based education, working a lot with our Air National Guard, the Professional Education Center out at Camp Robinson, looking for pathways where we can upskill people in national defense. That is, if you look at what's going on with People's Republic of China, Salt Typhoon, Volt Typhoon, all the different typhoons out there, it's much scarier than ransomware is still very, very scary, but a lot of the nation-state threats, it requires a different way of applying cybersecurity than what we're doing right now. We're looking at our ability to thrive as a nation is tied to our ability to understand the technology that we use and create secure technology in a way that we're able to still have a strategic advantage as a nation. So we're developing that pathway as well. Those are kind of the 2 needs that we've seen, both regionally but also nationally, talking with the Department of Defense and their workforce initiatives. We need a lot more of investment in this area and hoping to have a lot more federal careers for our students as well. So that's the education side. The operations side of our core center, the operations, is about how can we give our students opportunities. I have a lot of students as they're graduating, they're complaining that there are not opportunities, or a lot of the job postings require 2 to 4 years experience, or they require the certificate that has an additional 5 years experience. And so what we need to do as an institution is to give them that education, but also give them workforce opportunities. And a lot of what we're doing with the investment from the AG's office, the state's office, the governor's office is creating work opportunities while they're here, and in a way that is going to benefit other organizations around the city. So we're developing a cybersecurity clinic. That sounds very medical. The intent of that is to provide a service for, and this can be anywhere from nonprofits, small businesses that are just starting up. We work with small defense contractors that are trying to comply with new regulation, to public schools the number of ransomware attacks that hit public schools, healthcare entities, state municipalities, courts, those entities, they don't have the workforce to really address the problem. And so we're providing that need by giving a space for our students to work with those institutions. And it's really just a matter of, here's the need, and the need's a little overwhelming. We have about 200 and something municipalities in the state. We have about the same number of school districts, and each one of them needs those services. So the great thing is those partnerships with all of the community colleges around the state, that's where a lot of these communities, a lot of the need resides, in the school districts, in the courts, in the municipalities, the critical infrastructure. And we're partnering with them to look for workforce opportunities for our students. So our students can learn on the job, both in volunteer, and we also have several paid positions. But this allows them to understand risk. I mean, we can teach them cybersecurity and they can understand all of the technical aspects of it, but until you really know what the cost is to an organization, I mean, you all have, not many people like it when new cybersecurity regulation comes into play. It costs you time, lost productivity. And if you don't understand that, and we send them into the workforce, they could be a detriment to their new employers. And so for them to understand that early on, is when I say multi-factor authentication, I really need to understand what is the cost to this organization, and can they consume it, and how can I introduce it responsibly. Those are the type of opportunities we want our students to have. So that's we're going on right now, but really fully operational this fall. So I encourage you, if you or someone you know has a business that fits kind of that small business nonprofit and you need some assistance, please reach out to us. We want our students to be working out in the community and providing valuable services. So that's the operations side. All of that feeds into our research. So even the education, the operations, I mean, cybersecurity is about how do we protect the here and now systems, and to do that, by having our operators in the research lab, that provides incredible opportunities for our researchers to experience the pain. And one of the hardest things about research is getting them to experience the suffering of the problem, and not just the education and research problem, but the reason we're looking at this is because this is a very painful problem for people to work through. And if they can see that in the lab, that allows them to say, oh, okay, that's why we need this AI to do this automated operation. And that it just feeds, it's a cycle that allows us to both educate students, provide them with work opportunities, but then also look and see how can we make things better, and how can we focus on the right problems that can fix things, relatively in short order. I mean, we are not a foundational research institution. We are very much applied. We look for research projects that we can flip into commercialization within 3 to 5 years. And so having all of that energy at the center allows us to see those problems and see the product market fit and be able to produce that. I'm excited to say we have successfully commercialized. So Bastazo I'm a co-founder with, I don't know if many of you probably know Alan Mantooth. We've been working on this in the energy sector for last 5 years, but we have found a niche in Arkansas where we're really able to hit a market need, and Bastazo's been the first purely cybersecurity company from Arkansas to gain institutional and venture capital investment. And the reason people like us, and I'm not saying us as Bastazo, but the reason people like Arkansas, because we talk to investors from New York and California about Arkansas, the resource that we have is our human capital. Really what our students are able to do, because they're able to experience the pain, because they're not working on social media problems, they're working on critical infrastructure problems. That's something that's very rare. and the Defense Department, working on those problems together. It allows us to find product market fits that our students are uniquely able to work on and excel at. We have 13 high-wage positions here in Arkansas, and we are finding our talent almost solely through Arkansas and impressing people with it. It's just a joy to see the rise of talent. I mean, it's one of my PhD graduates from last semester. He's working at this company and is doing one of the top AI innovators in the field, and being able to see that. I truly believe our students are our greatest resource, at least from a cybersecurity perspective, when you have to make the sell. Why Arkansas? It's because of what we've created here. We can work across boundaries. We can work with institutions and create those partnerships that a lot of other states just are not able to. So that is that's what we're doing. That's the vision. We're very grateful for the opportunity to speak to you all. We thank you for the support of so many who have helped us, and appreciate the shared vision that we have for the young people here in Arkansas. And with that, I will be happy to answer any questions. Softball's perfectly.
Here, let me get you the mic real quick. Here you go, right here. I'm ready.
Hey, Philip, what would you say your greatest needs are for the program and for UA Little Rock from the community members that are here in this room?
Yeah, I mean, it's just going back to student investment. How can we provide more opportunities for students, provide more realistic work environments for students? So that can be scholarships, that can be internships, partnerships, anything, like even just asking for our services. That gives more student opportunities and allows us to go after federal grants and things. Yeah, I mean, any way that you can support these students, either financially or academically through their program.
Hey, Philip. Thanks so much for coming out. Really interested in cybersecurity and how it affects, our economy and the protection of citizens across the nation. I know we've got lots of infrastructure here, along with human capital. We've got Windstream, we've got the healthcare system's largest employer in the state, is Baptist and all the other hospitals around. But I'm also interested to hear more about the Apollo project in Helena Harbor. Are you familiar with any of the details on that and what that could provide for Arkansas when it comes to infrastructure with data centers, AI, capacity, things of that nature?
I'm excited about that as well, maybe for different reasons. I've wondered why Arkansas is kind of a desert of data centers. I mean, it's all about latency, and if we can have closer compute, then AI, virtual reality, all of that gets much better. But yeah, I'm excited. I was over at Abilene, Texas last weekend and got to see the OpenAI facility they're building. I think they said probably within a 2-hour radius, you can't find an electrician to work on anything else but the data center. So I mean, I think there's a tremendous opportunities. The solar power that we have out in the Delta, yeah, I'm excited about the future of with data centers.
Do someone have the question over here? I missed it.
I wonder how many students you have enrolled at the current time. And for higher education, it's been criticized for not providing meaningful training for people for jobs. Cybersecurity seems like a natural fit for somebody who wants to go to work immediately upon graduation.
Yeah, we have 100-ish. I don't know the full numbers. Does anybody? It's over 100. What's that? 125. Okay. Yeah, and it's been growing, and that's the full degree program, and we're also providing certificates that. So if you're an educator in healthcare, in business, it's not a minor, but it's a small degree pathway where you can upskill in cybersecurity, and that I don't know, but that's kind of our approach, is to come in with a growth mindset.
Philip, do you get the sense that companies in Arkansas have a good understanding of what the risk is around cybersecurity, and how can you make them more aware and improve their ability to deal with it?
I think they do. I mean, everybody's terrified of ransomware. The things they do to you as an organization can be horrendous. And so that exists. I think the problem is the way that we communicate about cybersecurity, it just sounds unachievable. And that's not necessarily the case. We need more of a workforce, and we don't just need cybersecurity workforce. We need engineers, we need business executives, we need healthcare workers that understand cybersecurity. We've had a problem of, okay, the workforce shortage in cybersecurity is famous, but it doesn't end there. By creating this expert workforce where everybody says, well, I can't afford that, that doesn't help society. And so I think businesses are aware, but there needs to be more education of that security is achievable, and more help to identify what are the things that can help, the things that organizations can do within their level of resources. And that's just not something the cybersecurity professional community has done great at.
How do you, I used to be an educator, so I'm just fascinated by this. How do you create a curriculum in an area that is evolving so rapidly? I mean, it seems like once you come up with the courses for a pathway, by the time your first graduate was gone there, it might have already evolved to where you needed to completely change some of the stuff.
Yeah. I break a lot of rules. No, I try not to, but there are a lot of rules in curriculum development. We do move fast, and so we kind of flood the curriculum committees. But I think UA Little Rock provides an ecosystem that we're able to do things that I talked to some of my other partners. They're not, the answer is no. And the answer is never no. I've never had a no. There's maybe not yet, but and then the other part of your question is getting tied in with the national, international community on where the standards are going. Like when we're developing the AI curriculum, we're looking at the Association for Computing Machinery. They really focus on they follow what needs to be taught in higher ed in AI, and so focusing on learning outcomes that just the wealth of knowledge have poured into. That's really where we start. And I mean, AI's been tough because every 6 months the landscape shifts, and what we were doing, the way we were teaching AI a year ago is obsolete, and so that's going to be even more challenging than cybersecurity, but I think we're up for it. Yeah.
Great presentation. So you used great examples of people, that are coming back or whatever, the workers who are not, happy with their jobs and coming back. What do you see the growth in the non-traditional student coming back for things like this? Because this is very exciting, and you mentioned healthcare, which I work in or whatever, and I was just wondering what you saw as the growth and attraction with that's going to help you grow. And by the way, I'm just asking for a friend.
Yeah, right. Probably money is some of it. They see the salaries associated with it, but we've had our hires in faculty. They've been like from the FBI, from Air National Guard, people with industry experience, and so we capture the people coming. They're just kind of interested that I might want to dab into that, and then we really captivate them. One of the great things about cybersecurity in particular is there's a narrative to every lesson. There's a story, there's an adversary, and there's a victim, and so it's very compelling. And so that's really helped kind of drive a lot of that interest. With one of the things I'm excited about with the graduate programs is that we're not meeting everyone with the need. There are people that have already obtained their degree, and they're not really going to come back for another undergraduate degree or certificate. And so this provides a pathway for them to, in a short order, study and focus on problems that are pertinent to their business. And yeah, so I think that's kind of the next phase of growth for us.
Dr. Huff, I'm actually going to take presidential privilege because I have the microphone. But I want to follow up on that question. And you talked a little bit about, the high wages that come in this new career field. Obviously, we have opportunities here, like Ross mentioned, with some of the largest healthcare facilities here. We have Southwest Power Pool, we have Miso Energy, we have a lot of things that are here, and now we have an educational force that can teach people how to maintain cybersecurity and AI. How do we keep those wages in the state? So is there infrastructure that we would need to invest in as a, as a state or Central Arkansas or what have you, to make these jobs available to support remotely, remote work, as this is a job that doesn't require you to be in a particular place?
Yeah, it's, remote work, like everyone knows, is diminishing, and so it's hard to know where that's going. I think our students stay here just because they love where they're growing up. If we can capture students at the point of graduation where they see a path for them here in Arkansas, then I think that's where they want to be. Some of my favorite group of students in working in a research center are my homeschool students. I love, I'm not a homeschool parent, but I've worked, I don't know, it's just like, well, tell me your background. I was homeschooled. I was like, wow, that's like, 80% of our researchers here were homeschooled, but they like Arkansas. They don't want to move too far from home, and they're just incredibly innovative. So I think that's just one population. But I think if we can capture their interest, and I think UA Little Rock is at a point where they have a reach out into the business community and liaison for the students. And if they can get the students captivated with the problems of Arkansas's business community, then that solidifies that tie. So I'm just trying to sell Arkansas. Yeah.
Hey, thanks. You briefly mentioned the hype in AI and some of the maybe misspent or wasted dollars there. We don't hear a whole lot about that. Curious to hear you say a little bit more about that, and then how Arkansas might be either uniquely fit or trying to get ahead of some of that and train people up in a way that we can avoid, misspent money or resources.
Yeah, it's like in education, there's a lot of problems right now. We're just kind of in the throes of AI, trying to figure out what does that mean for us. But students have mixed messages. I think I would love to see more invested in like if you look at what University of California has done, or UC State, with their system, and AI is in their syllabus, and it's just part of their education. I think we need more. It's unfortunately it's very expensive, and if our students don't have access to it and don't know how to use it responsibly in a way that increases critical thinking and not bypasses critical thinking, then we lose out. On a generation, the same thing that happened with the anxious generation. We're in a far more dire state if we miss this opportunity to use these tools. And I think in the business, we need more education of what more fluency in what these models mean, what's an appropriate task for these models, and what is the role of humans. Because too often we hear that it's going to replace coders, it's going to replace lawyers, it's going to replace doctors, but that's not even the story. It will make them better, it'll help us do things better, but it's not just a human-like chatbot. We have to figure out how do we responsibly put that into our processes. So I'm sorry I didn't really answer you very directly, but we would like AI licenses in the school. I think that would help a lot to integrate that for Arkansas to kind of take the lead in some of those initiatives.
Thank you, Dr. Huff.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Huff. That was a great update on a very important topic. We love to see the investment in our future education. What I wrote down in my notes was it's great to be able to convert the fear of the unknown into hope for future generations, and I feel like that's absolutely what UA Little Rock is doing right now. So thank you very much for that. As we say a thank you to our presenters, we've commissioned local Arkansan Sage Holland, a master bead maker out of Mountain Home, Arkansas, to make a commemorative bead representing excuse me, a ability to breathe clearly and a rotary ear theme of Global Heart's local hands. We hope it's a great reminder of the time that you got to share with our club over here. I am going to take a quick moment, one more presidential privilege. It's been mentioned a couple times, but how about those UALR Trojans? Baseball is amazing. Very, very proud of them. They played a wonderful tournament. We are invited. They are actually doing a welcome back at the Jack Stevens Center today at 3:15. The school was kind enough to invite everybody here to come, welcome the team back, show some highlight reels from the tournament and the way that they got there. So please, if you have time this afternoon, we would love to have you there just to support the guys and the amazing work that they did. As we wrap up this meeting, I do have a bit of news to share with the club. As you know, the club has enjoyed the employment of two amazing women, our Executive Director, Karen Fetzer, and our Associate Director, Lael Foster. Lael has informed the club that she will be leaving at the end of June so that she can start her own business, the Arkansas Art Space, an art education center based here in Little Rock. Lael has been with the club since August of 2015 and has been an incredible partner to the club for the past 10 years. Lael and I were actually classmates in Leadership Grader Little Rock, Class 38. I have enjoyed so much being able to work with her for the past year and could not be more excited for her as she pursues her dream job. I hope you all will join me in sharing both our thanks for 10 years of service and our encouragement to departing Associate Director Lael Foster. Before she gets back in the room, please say thank you on the way out. But Ross, new membership packet to her if you don't mind. Next week, we will have a panel to Keep Arkansas Beautiful campaign with the Arkansas Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism. Lael, I'll say it again so that you can hear, but thank you very much for the past 10 years of service, and we are all so excited for your next step in your chapter. Going back to the next week, we have a panel on Keep Arkansas Beautiful campaign with the Arkansas Departments of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism. With that, we're adjourned. Have a great week.